Why do I love cheap guitars so much? I started buying cheap guitars because I can't afford to keep buying expensive guitars. And I'm an addict, so I have to buy guitars. This week is a £149 Squier Telecaster. It's the cheapest Telecaster that Fender make. It's another good budget telly. Look at that. Oh, I'm really taken. I might keep this one after all. Hello, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Guitaristas. So I like to cater for all tastes here on the channel. So following last week's big old Les Paul shootout, when I had 10 grand's worth of sunburstness in front of me last week, this week, just to cater for all tastes, is a £149 Squier Telecaster. It's this one. It's the Sonic. It's the cheapest Telecaster that Fender make under the Squier brand. It's a nice colour, isn't it? I unboxed this a little while ago. I don't know if you saw that, but I was really struck by how attractive it looks. Torino red, this one, with the black scratch guard, scratch plate, pick guard. Oh, I don't know what I've done there. Scratch guard, yeah, that's the thing. Look at it. Yeah, 149 English pounds I paid for it. This is the last budget Telecaster that I am acquiring before I finally get stuck into the big budget T-style comparison that I've been promising for way too long, where you may recall I'm gonna compare these. Jet JT300, Fasley Outlaw Coyote Basic, Harley Benton TE62, Antiquity Foeswood TL1, and the East Coast T1. So now we've got the official, licensed, licensed, I don't know, Squier's not licensed, it's owned by, isn't it? Yeah, actual Telecaster, a proper one, apparently. Well, when we do that comparison, we'll find out. I want to get cracking with that. But first, I have to review this, like I've done with all of those others. I'll put all of those reviews in the description box. You can check out those if you haven't seen any of those yet, and if you're interested. Let's do this one today, and then in a couple of weeks' time, I'm going to whack them all on the bench here, fly a case, and compare them and play them all. I'm sorry, I'm spitting on this one already. So this film will be, it'll take a while, as always. So don't forget, the timestamps are in the description box. So if you're fed up with me banging on already, just skip forward. I don't mind. But I urge you not to do that because, you know, we'll chill out and we'll have a little bit of a laugh, I hope. So if you've got a little bit of time on your hands, go and put the kettle on, get yourself some nibbles and a beverage of your choice. Come back and join me. And let's get stuck in. So let's look at this. This one, as I said, is Torino red with Indian laurel fingerboard. They also do this in quite a fetching California blue with an Indian laurel fingerboard. They do it in black with a maple fingerboard. And they do it in butterscotch blonde with a maple fingerboard. So 4 standard colours. I don't know if there are any special colours or not in this range, but they're all quite nice, aren't they? I don't know about the butterscotch blonde one. And if you can see on this picture, you can. The trouble is you can see the bits of wood joined together, which is kind of a little bit off-putting. So that'd be my least favourite. Also, I had a bad experience with a classic vibe butterscotch Telecaster once, and it haunts me to this day. Anyway, yeah, £149. So let's have a look at it, shall we? Stop talking. It's got it's Torino red, this one, polyurethane finish, neck maple. What we'll do in a sec is we'll whack the strings off and have a closer look. Before we do that, let's weigh it. It feels a decent weight, so let's see what it is. £7 10 ounces, which is 3.47 kilos. Yeah, that's all right. It's a poplar body, by the way. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. And just before I take the strings off, this illustrates it really nicely. It's a top loading bridge on this. It's not. There's no string through on this one. Okay, I'm going to just start by de-plasticking. I would normally leave the plastic on if I'm going to flip a guitar. I mean, I've got a plan for these cheapies, by the way, which we'll talk about another time. Oh, there you go. Sorry, I had to take that off because it looks so nice. And when I was looking on the camera earlier, you could see there was a big old mark where the sticker was, the Fender Play sticker. There you go. Look at that. Oh, I'm really taken. I might keep this one after all. It's got, look, let's get stuck in. Medium C profile neck, Indian laurel fingerboard, synthetic bone nut, die cast tuners you get on most guitars of this range, price range. Be interesting to see how they feel. I'm feeling them. They feel all right. No obvious play so far. So good. There you go. And obviously proper. It's got the proper headstock. It's going to be the only one in that roundup that I keep promising that's got. I think I'm right in saying this is going to be the only one that's got the actual proper headstock. There you go, little string tree. And yeah, Indian laurel looks good. Narrow tall frets this has got on it, 21 of them. And it looks all right. Let's have a look at the neck profile and measurements on the screen now. Okay, here's the neck profile and measurements at the 1st fret. And here's the neck profile and measurements at the 12th fret. You know, and it feels nice. Satin urethane, they call it. Squier necks are always nice. Yeah. Good. Tick that box. So standard layout, we'll have a look under there in a second, we'll have a look under there in a second, but master volume, master tone, 3-way switch. It's standard, isn't it? It's a Telecaster standard. So let's do that. Let's remove the pick guard. Apologies if I'm being a bit random today. I actually, I'll be honest, I hadn't prepared for this at all until I got into the studio. I hadn't really decided what I was going to do. And then I thought, oh, you know what? I fancy playing that Telecaster this week. So let's do that. So literally, I put no thought into this. I don't write a script, you know. I just press record and start talking bollocks. And just before we remove the pick guard, let's just take the pickup readings. Starting on the bridge, 6.6 K. Okay, that's interesting. And the inductance is 4.81 Henrys. And on the neck, oh, I said it like that, Henrys. Posh pickup readings, that's what they are. On the neck, 7.32 K. And the inductance is 3.45 Henrys. There you go. Middle, for a laugh, 3.52 kilo ohms, both together. There you go. Aha. That's good. The pickup is connected, fixed to the pick guard, scratch plate, scratch guard, rather than the body. on this, and we were able to remove it. There's no, I don't know why I'm even telling you this, but there's no overhang on the fretboard. Sometimes, I think it's if they've got 22 frets, they have a little overhang. Sometimes that can be tricky to get off, as I think was illustrated in one of the other reviews. Anyway, oh, look at that. Oh, let's look at that first. Oh, that's interesting. It's got a big old humbucker out, so you could mod this with a humbucker should you wish. And look, that looks really tidy. I'm quite impressed with that. Look, it's got shielding paint. Nice and tidy. Let's do some close-ups of that. And here's the pickup. It's a ceramic pickup, you can tell by the magnet there, can't you? There we go. Flip that. I've got the mysterons light of doom up here. If you saw the Troublemaker upgrade series, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. But it doesn't work. It's reflecting, but I'm gonna just turn it on. You see what I mean? This is the voice of the mysterons. What I was hoping would happen is it would shed some light on. It does, but in the wrong place, basically. So there's a work in progress, that. Does it help at all? No, the torch was better, wasn't it? Anyway, in the control cavity, again, it's got a load of old new shielding. Nice and tidy. And as far as the controls go, it's got an alpha PCB style switch. I think you can see that quite clearly. And alpha mini pots made in Korea. And what's that cap? See if I can read it. No is the answer. I'm being blinded by the light. Let's just see if I can get a closer shot of it. I don't actually think it's got a marking on it, but it's probably 0.47, isn't it? There's no markings on the pots to say what resistance of those is. There you go. Okay, let's pop that back. And well, let's turn that off. Yeah, I don't know. Let's have a look under here. Right, that was good. I didn't have to tamper with the saddles to get all these screws out. They're quite small screws holding this bridge on. But yeah, I didn't have to move anything, so it'd be interesting to see if it is intonated or not. Because normally, look, they're quite flat, so normally you might expect more of an angle. But let's find out once we've put some new strings on. But for now, let's see if we can flip this. How do we do this? Ha-ha, like that. Well, interestingly, there's no shielding at all. Well, it's not black. No, there's no shielding, is there? It's just red paint in the bridge pickup cavity. And another ceramic pickup with what looks like a brass plate on the bottom. So that looks quite nice, doesn't it? Looks reasonable anyway. Loads of gobbledygook on it. Let's just see if I can do a close-up of that. Hello, there's a reflection of me. I'm really on one today, aren't I? There you go. Nothing much to see there. There is the earth wire. So all looks pretty good. What I'm going to do now is put all these screws back in, put a new set of strings on, and then we'll come back, plug it in, and see what it sounds like. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, new set of strings, Ernie Ball regular slinkies. And this is what it sounds like unplugged. Nice, got a nice spank to it, hasn't it? On the board today, we've got the Soul Food and the Nobel's ODR1 and the Rat. And if I use them, I shall show you, as always. But first, we'll start with all clean. It's just the guitar driving the amp, which is a Princeton 65, incidentally, as always. Just driving it, and let's see how far it pushes it. Okay, so crank to start with on the bridge pickup. It's all right, isn't it? Neck. Middle. It sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Bit muted, the neck pickup. I've tried to do a few things with that and it doesn't cut through quite enough, and I'm trying to get it to cut with a soul food. Still going. Okay, just gonna have a chat. What do you think? They all sound perfectly reasonable, don't they, these cheap guitars? I'm always amazed. I'm always amazed at how much pleasure I get out of playing things like this. As much pleasure as I get out of playing the sort of things I was playing last week. That's a question mark, actually. Maybe not quite as much. No, maybe not quite as much. Oh yeah, okay. All right, well, I was gonna say, you know, why do I love cheap guitars so much? And I was gonna say because you can buy 10 of these, or you know, more than 10 of these for the price of one of those expensive Les Pauls, and you get 10 times as much pleasure. I'm not sure that's true, actually. I'm not sure that's quite true, but I think the point is, why did I start buying cheap guitars in the first place? A lot of people think this channel is about reviewing cheap guitars. It isn't. I review a lot of cheap guitars, but I also review a lot of quite expensive guitars, you know, if you watch regularly. So you shouldn't judge on just a few weeks. I do get comments. I'll get some this week. Oh, another cheap shit Telecaster. I'm off. Fair enough, each to their own. But the point is, I started buying cheap guitars because I can't afford to keep buying expensive guitars. And I'm an addict, so I have to buy guitars. If I haven't bought a guitar for a few weeks, a month, I think in the last month I've only bought one. So let's say at least once a month I'll be going, you know, I'll start getting itchy. So I'll start looking and I think, oh, 150 quid. You know, even if I haven't got 150 quid, you know, paying 3, PayPal, there's always a way to finance it and not really notice it. So that's why I started buying cheap guitars in the first place. And I was amazed at how bloody good they are. Now, as far as this one's concerned, I don't think there's anything to criticise about this guitar at all. I think that the quality of the manufacturing quality of these cheap guitars, this is a cheap guitar, I think it's come on leaps and bounds in the last couple of years. I think that probably the quality of the likes of the Harley Bentons and, you know, the other knockoffs that are putting out have really made Fender raise their game, and hopefully Epiphone as well. But as far as this one's concerned, I didn't even really get into the fretwork because it's great. I mean, obviously I showed you some close-ups, but you know, no sharp edges whatsoever. And you heard it. It rings out and sustains, you know, right up there. It plays all the way up and down the fretboard. It's great. And the tuners, you know, gone are the days where they put cheap shit tuners on these guitars, although they are obviously cheap tuners. Actually, Phil McKnight was talking about that. You know, these used to cost like $50 a set, and I think he showed, I think it was this week, he did a Fender, oh, that's another thing, but he did a Fender debut Strat, and these are about $5, I think. Yeah, that's the other thing. I said this was the cheapest Fender Squier Telecaster, and actually I've since discovered, by way of Phil McKnight's review, they do a debut series that's exclusive to Amazon. So yeah, and that's even cheaper. So, but that doesn't count because that's Amazon, all right? This is the cheapest one you can buy in retail, in proper retail. And it's brilliant. It's really brilliant. You know, if you're thinking about getting a Squier Sonic, it has my full endorsement. I love it. I love the colour, as I've gone on about so much, and I can't fault it. What? Now I'm contradicting myself again. Yeah, okay, it could have better pickups, but really only the neck was a little bit, you know, woolly. But this, even the bridge, tailpiece, tailbridge, it's tailbridge, isn't it? It felt great. There's no rattles or anything on this. Switch feels all right. Controls all worked. Alpha pots. I think that's quite a good budget brand, or good brand. Full stop, isn't it? Yeah, I like it. So yeah, it's another good budget telly. So I'm looking forward to lining this up alongside those other. It's 5. I think it's going to be 6 altogether now, including this. You've got Jet, you've got Harley Benton, you've got Fasley, you've got Antiquity, you've got East Coast, and you've now got Squier. And I know there are a load more as well, but I think we've got to stop somewhere. Yeah, let's stop there. Let's do that. That'll be 6. I'll do that in a couple of weeks' time. Get them all on here, and we'll play them all side by side. It's going to be a difficult one, because from what I can remember about all of those reviews, and the links are all in the description box, they're all good. I don't think there was one that I said, oh, this is a bit shit. Well, let's put them side by side and get a proper comparison. Are Squier able to compete with Harley Benton? Is East Coast the king of the cheapies? We're going to find out. So there you go. So that's coming up. What else? Let me look at my notes, see if I've got a, oh yeah, something. Just as I was about to start filming this, I just looked on the monitor and I noticed something. There's the monitor over there, by the way. If you keep seeing me looking over there, that's why, because I'm just checking. I'm checking me here. The mysterons light of doom. I don't think you'll be able to see it on your, well, you won't be able to see it on your phone, but maybe on your laptop, that you can see it peeking through there. If you're watching on 4K on telly, because this is all 4K, by the way. If you're watching it on your telly, which you can do if you didn't know that, it's easy with the YouTube app, or with the TV channel app. There you go. Little shout out for the TV channel. That is my subscription TV channel, where you can watch all of this glorious content without any adverts, and by way of a small contribution of $5 a month or $50 for a whole year, you can support this channel properly and help keep it sponsorship free. There you go. Sneak that one in, didn't I? Please check out the TV channel. I need more subscribers, and thanks to all the people. There are a good bunch of you now over there. It enables this. It enables my habit. It enables me to keep buying guitars, and this YouTube channel wouldn't be able to carry on without that support. So if you like what I'm doing on YouTube, please go over there. What was I talking about? The mysterons light. Can you see it? You know, I'll turn it on. You see it now? I can see it on the monitor. I don't know. If you can't see it, and if you've never tried watching me on your telly, give it a try. Apparently, it's a growing trend, and my statistics show there's something like, it's quite a lot. It's about 40% of my views are on telly, I think, something like that, which is good. And you know, YouTube's all about that. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, this is the voice. That was the voice of the mysterons. That's gone. That's done. That's it. Oh, before I go, Les Paul's update from last week's film. In the end, I listed 4 of those. All four. No, not all 4, because I didn't list the Eastman, but I listed the Gibson and the Tokai and the Heritage and the Maybach. And guess what? 3 of those are sold already. It's Thursday today, Thursday following. So Reverb, you know, don't knock it. Helps if you've got a YouTube channel, of course, anyway. But yeah, I've sold 3 of those. They've gone to fabulous homes. Yeah, they have. So thanks, guys. I was going to just list all your names, and I can't remember all of you. There's one of you I can't remember the name just off the top of my head, so I'm just going to say thanks to all of you. I hope you're happy with those. Well, I'm sure you will be. They're all fabulous guitars. The one that's still up there as of now is this one. It's the Maybach. It's a fabulous guitar. There's been loads of interest, but no one's pulled the trigger just yet. So if you've got your eye on this one, you know, don't hang around. And if it doesn't go, I should be very tempted to just take it down and keep it for a bit, because I only intended to sell 3 in the first place. But in the end, I thought, you know what, we'll let them all go and we'll buy some new stuff to replace them. So, you know, I'll have a bit of money in the bank to buy something in due course. You know, I won't be doing it immediately. But there you go. That's it. That's all for this week. Come back, same time, same place, next week. Oh, next week, or this weekend, clocks go back in the UK. Okay, we're on British summertime until Sunday, and then they go back an hour for fall back, which means next week's video, if you're not on the same time, in the same time zone as me, I don't think anyone's in the same time zone as me. If you're not in the same time zone as the UK, it'll be an hour later. This will drop an hour later where you are in another part of the world, if I've got my mathematics correct, which I think I have. Okay, so don't wonder where I am. It's the clocks. It's not my fault. Yeah. Right, good. That's it. I'm going. See you next week. Come back, same time, same place. Well, different time, same place. I'm going. Ta-da.